Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we're gonna discuss arrays. We're gonna introduce what an array is and how to define one in C++. Introduction to arrays. So an array is used to process a collection of data of the same type. And an example is a list of names or a list of temperatures. Why do we need arrays? So imagine keeping track of 5 test scores or 100 or 1000 in memory. How would you name all the variables and how would you process each of the variables? Declaring an array. An array named score containing 5 variables of the type int can be declared as int score inside square brackets 5. And of course we enclose the sentence by a semicolon. So this is like declaring 5 variables of type n, score 0, score 1, until the last number minus 1, or the length of the list minus 1, so score 4. So the value in brackets is called a subscript or an index. And the variables making up the array are referred to as index variables, subscripted variables, or elements of the array. So all of these are names of the variables that are making up the array. And so the number of index variables in the array is the declared size or the size of the array. The largest index is 1 less than the size, and the first index value is 0. So it starts from 0 and goes up to the size minus 1. Now, an array can have index variables of any type. All index variables in an array are of the same type. This is the base type of the array. An index variable can be used anywhere. An ordinary variable of the base type is used. So an index variable can be used anywhere. An ordinary variable of the base type is used. So in array declaration, the square brackets enclose the size of the array, such as this array of 5 integers. So in declaring a variable, the square brackets indicate the size of the array, and we're referring to one of the index variables. The square brackets enclose a number identifying one of the index variables. So when we say score 3, we are referring to one of the index variable inside the array. And so the value in the brackets can be any expression that evaluates to one of the integers 0 to size minus 1. So it can be any expression that evaluates to a number from 0 to the size of the array minus 1. And yeah, and it will give us one of the indexed variables. When an array is created, its elements are assigned with arbitrary values. To initialize an array when it's declared, the values for the index variables are enclosed in braces and separated by commas. So an example is we want to declare an array, we just indicate the type of the array, which is int, and then we say children. We add the square brackets, and inside the square brackets we have the size of the array, and then we have inside curly brackets we have the elements of the array. And so this is basically equivalent to defining each and every index variable in the array separately. So if we want to have an array with size 3, and we say separately, like the index variable, the first index variable is 2, and the second index variable with index 1 is 12, and the third is 1. This is equivalent to what we done here in the first example. Now there are default values for arrays, and if too few values are listed in an initializing statement, the listed values are used to initialize the first of the indexed variables. The remaining indexed variables are initialized to a 0 of the base type. So an example here, if we initialize an array of type integer of size 10, between square brackets 10, and we give it only two values. We give the array two values, okay, which initializes a0 and a of 1 to 5, and then the rest of the values are going to be given 0 of the base type. So if it's an integer, it's going to be given 0 as an integer. If it's a double, it's going to be given a 0 as a double, and so on. And so A2 through A9 are evaluated to 0, which is the third element, up to the 10th element, they are all evaluated to 0, sorry. Now, declaring and initializing. So declaring, creating, initializing in one step. Can do all of that using this expression, the data type, and then the array name, and then we determine the array size, and then we include the values in the array. And here are some examples. So double my list of size 4 is just an array of type double, and we have double my list. Here the size is not given, so I think it's automatically detected. Also we have double my list 4, and it's giving two values only, so the rest will be evaluated to 0.0 as a double. If no values are listed in the array declaration, some compilers will initialize each variable to a 0 of the base type. But it's important to not depend on this, since not all compilers will deal with it in the same way. Some compilers may give you an error. Index variable assignment. To assign a value to an index variable, use the assignment operator. And so int equals 2, and we have score of size n plus 1 equals 99. In this example, variable score 3, since n plus 1 is 3, and this is the fourth element of the array score, is assigned to the value 99. And this is basically how to assign values to an array, or to an index variable in the array. And that's all. Thank you all for watching. I hope you benefited from this video.